First Republic was contaminated overnight by the contagion that spread from the unprecedented failures of those banks.
In his first public statement since his bank was seized by regulators, Michael Roffler, the former CEO of First Republic Bank, blamed his bank's collapse on a panic ignited by the failures of two other lenders, Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank.
Everything changed overnight. On the morning of March 10th, when Silicon Valley collapsed, a run on First Republic began. Over the course of the ensuing weeks, over $100 billion in deposits were withdrawn from the bank.
Appearing before a House Financial Services Subcommittee on Wednesday, Roffler said industry-wide alarm over the soundness of regional banks led to a run at First Republic that even a $30 billion lifeline from other major banks could not stem.
Investor and depositor confidence never recovered.
Banking regulators shut First Republic on May 1st and sold its assets to J.P. Morgan Chase in a deal that resolved the largest U.S. bank failure since the 2008 financial crisis. Since then, regional lenders have seen their stock valuations battered by worries of a broader crisis. But on Wednesday, one regional bank helped allay those fears, at least for now. Western Alliance Bancorp reported that its deposits grew by $2 billion over roughly the past 2 months, sending its shares up 15% and lifting other regional bank shares with it. PacWest Bancorp, whose stock has seesawed this week, soared more than 20%. Comerica and Zions also rose by double-digit percentages. Deposit flows at U.S. banks, which investors have been pouring through for signs of distress, climbed to more than $17 trillion in the week ended May 3rd, according to data from the Federal Reserve, marking the first increase in 4 weeks.
Email exchanges from inside the BBC, they talk about the risk of violating Indian laws. It's easier to rake up the freedom of speech debate, but does it give anyone a free pass to knowingly violate the law? America supports India because it needs India's support in return. And India is working with the US because it suits India's interests. This is how geopolitics works. Last night, he diffused a crisis with his defense minister. But today, Netanyahu was confronted with a new problem. His cabinet seems to have rebelled against him. The UK is looking at the Indian subcontinent to fill its coffers. That India seems to be negotiating from a position of power, like a partner and not a former colony.